Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters. Good morning. I hope you are all doing great. I hope that your fasting is easy for you. Um, is the month of Ramadan. Parents here in the United States, this is a very important message for you. You do not want to miss this. I know you've heard it before, and most of you know, but just in case, I wanted to say it because I've experienced these things personally. Guys, that is that we live in America, the United States, and although it says one nation under God, that could not be further from the truth. As sin is not only allowed in this country, these things are promoted and pushed upon us, especially our children. On TV, every commercial you see has men and women kissing nowadays. There's so much stuff for sex. Having sex with anyone you want whenever is just promoted as natural, good well being for some reason. There is no more waiting till marriage in this country nowadays. And they're even trying to push the thought of marriage out that why should we have to be responsible for caring for a partner when we can just have sex with them and then not have any strings attached? And people think that's a great life to live. Fine. You're free to do that. I don't agree with it. But is being pushed upon our kids and in schools, in the regular school system. Homosexuality is now taught that it is natural. It is now taught that you're not assigned gender at birth, whether you have a penis or a vagina. It's too much for me to even talk about, and I don't understand it. The point is, parents, your children are growing up in this. If you're a Muslim, even if you're a Christian or a Jew, you could listen to this too because it's important for you too, especially for you Muslims. Look, us Muslims. If you're rich and you have the money, you're a millionaire, there's no excuse for you to still be in the United States of America if you have children that you are raising. You have no excuse not to move to a country where there's Islamic rule. And some people are scared because they see the way that the Middle East and stuff is promoted. I mean, not promoted, but portrayed here in America. Guys, you don't have to go to the Middle East. That's not Islamic standard. There are places in the Middle East that are nice, but there are lots of Islamic countries that are very fantastic countries, great, safe countries where you can live very happily in, but without so much influence. Um, if you can do that, if I could, I would, but I don't have the monetary resources to do it whatsoever. Um, if you can do that, that's best for your children. I promise you. Get them somewhere where they don't have to see all this stuff out on the streets because our children are growing up. And here in the West, they are seeing all this and they want to fit in. They want to be cool. They want to be accepted. They want to be part of the cool groups, as they call them. They want to do all this stuff that is portrayed. They want their American freedom. Okay, guys, they're gonna want to follow that. It's up to us to make sure we guide them on the right path. Now, not everyone can afford to just move to a different country. That's totally understandable. This is for you who can. You need to. You should. It should be a duty upon you to make sure your children grow up in a Muslim Islamic environment. So if you can't do that, you can try your best to get them into an Islamic school. We have them here in America. Now they're far out, and there are a chance that you may not be close enough to one to do that. That's understandable. If you have the funds to move somewhere closer that does have an Islamic school, do that. If you don't, it's understandable. Another thing you can do is make sure that if you are involved in a mosque, make sure your children are as involved as much as possible in that with you. If there is no mosque around, then you really need to make sure at home that you are showing them the correct path. Read Quran with them, pray with them, teach them the history, teach them about the stories, about the prophets. Show them Islamic TV shows. Now there is some Islamic TV shows you can even watch for free on YouTube. There is there's a couple of good things for children. There's one. It's called Prophet Stories. It tells stories about the prophets. There's another one called I'm the Best Muslim. It's a little bit strange, but it's really good. Um, and then there's definitely Islamic movies you can find on YouTube or throughout TV. Keep them involved as much as possible at home life so that they know, so that they understand, so that you can guide them, help them understand why all these things that the West portrays as cool and natural and that they should do, help them understand why they shouldn't and why they shouldn't follow it. Now, in the end, your children are going to take their own path regardless of what you do. But you as a parent should be your utmost, most important duty to make sure that they are guided, to make sure that they are pointed in the right direction. Make sure you teach them Quran, read it with them, pray with them, let them see you pray. You don't just tell them to pray, they need to see you do it. If you can, homeschool is a great option as well. Guys, we all have different options that we are limited to. But if you have a way to do it, get to an Islamic country, raise your children there. If you can't do that, get to an Islamic school, let your children go there. If you can't do that, stay involved with the masjid, stay involved with the mosque and the Muslim community. If you can't do that, stay very involved at home and possibly homeschool. That is my plan, is once my child is finished learning his basics, because my youngest son needs some special help to learn to read and stuff, and the elementary school is helping with that. But as far as middle school and high school, I plan to homeschool. That's why I have a third shift job on the weekends. I can homeschool during the week, inshallah. Um, that is my plan for that. And even then, there are going to be all kinds of temptations around them, even for me. It's summertime, guys. Women dress half naked everywhere. There's nothing we can do about that. If I could put a blindfold on, I would, but I can't. So I have to, it's a struggle for me because I'm a man, I'm a human, I'm attracted to women. They're dressed like that in public and I see it. It's very hard, but I try my best to look away, lower my gaze. And even though it's hard, the more struggle, there's more blessing and more struggle, right? So I thank Allah for that, that I have the knowledge and strength to make sure I avoid these temptations. And that's fine with me. I can do that. I would rather not, but I don't have much of a choice at this point. So I look at it like, on the positive side, the more struggle you go through for the sake of Allah, the better the blessing. Look, but the thing is, your children, though, they're still developing in their minds, and they don't think like we think as fully grown adults. Even fully grown adults in this country don't think like a lot of us think. All that stuff is okay to them. They don't really take it serious. And the country promotes not to take it serious. They promote that we're the extremists and we're boring and we take it too far, that we don't need to worry. We'll just live our lives and have fun. We shouldn't have to worry about marrying somebody and being responsible for them. Everybody should be responsible for themselves. We should have sex with whoever we want. Yeah, just YOLO. You only live once. Sexual orientation, it doesn't matter anymore. You can be whatever you want to be with whoever you want to be. Okay, I mean, where do you cut the limit off, though? There are people that are attracted to animals naturally. They're naturally attracted to animals, but you tell them they're wrong. But you use the excuse for homosexuals that, well, they're naturally attracted to it. They can't help it. It's not their fault. We should let them do it. Let those guys be with animals. You're using a double standard excuse there. Double standard, hypocritical excuse. See, that's where Islam comes in to set those boundaries. That's why our Creator that created us gives us those boundaries. Us as humans, we don't really have a cutoff for those boundaries. And the reason things are getting worse because people actually abided by the scriptures more so. And the more time progresses, the more people follow science and follow everything else and follow social media, and they start forgetting about the scriptures. So now it's being promoted as things that are completely terrible, completely unnatural as natural. I mean, it's just so much going on. And if we take our children out of this, they will possibly. Now, I'm not saying that it's perfect in Islamic countries. There's still temptations there. They still have access to things there, but nowhere near as much. You don't see the half naked women running around. You're not, it's just not right in front of your face, pushed on you, telling you you have to do this. You have to be like this. You have to accept this. So it's upon our duties to do our best that we can, guys. We have to do the best we can. That's all we can do. But we have to make an effort. We have to make an effort. Our children should be the most important people in the world to us, to guide and raise them, guys. And this is very important to think about. I hope everyone has a easy time doing it. Please, if you can, move. If you can't, make sure you keep involved as much as possible. Keep those children in the mosque. Keep them praying. Keep them reading Quran. Guys, do everything you can for them. In that matter, that is the most important thing, because eternity is a very long time and the hellfire is real. We do not want that for our children, do we? We don't want it for ourselves. We definitely do not want it for our children. It is our job to make sure that we prevent that for our children. Anyway, Ramadan Mubarak. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.